Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm doing another vinyl collection update video, my second one, I guess, and it hasn't been that long since I did my first one. So these are just albums that I have collected in the last few weeks, and it's like 8 or 9 albums that I have to show you guys, and that's mainly due to a couple of sales where I picked up quite a few records. Very great sales at Norwegian record stores. And there's also a new record and also a record I picked up at a second-hand music store in Oslo called Rock'n'Rolls. So let's go. First, the album that was released for the first time this year, an album that got a lot of buzz online. Discovered this band this year, actually, and they have put out quite a few albums, but they started popping up on lists for upcoming releases in 2026, something to look out for, and it's the Ratboys. Album is called Singing to an Empty Chair, and this was just released last week, I believe. They had 4 singles or 5 singles, great singles, running up to this. And the album didn't disappoint as a whole. I've been enjoying this a lot, listened mostly at first on the digital version, at the gym and such, on my way to work, and said, oh, this is probably the album I've liked the best this year. I need to pick this up. I was a bit skeptical at first because of the release. It said it has the etched side, and I'm kind of not a fan of that, as I have mentioned before. But I can give this album a pass. I'm glad I picked it up, not only because of the great music, but also because the vinyl sounds really, really great. And yeah, this is a band you might enjoy if you like early Big Thief, but perhaps with more driving guitars, electric guitars. Just great. Something they did, maybe because they compensated for the etched side they signed, so you get, or at least this release has some autographs, 2 LPs of course, and the etched side is just some doodles of sorts. I'm not sure why the band does that, you know, when they plan out their album. Are we gonna make 1 LP, or are we gonna put out a 2 LP album? It's not that difficult, but these things happen. And yeah, just a very fun indie rock record. Yeah, I would be surprised if this is not on my top 5 albums of the year, but it's early to say, so let's see. Next, I got secondhand vinyl, and it's this great album by Pauline Murray and the Invisible Girls. So to begin with, Pauline Murray, she was the lead singer of the punk band from the UK, late 70s, the Penetrators. She ventured on to this project with the Invisible Girls, consisting of Martin Hannett, producer of Joy Division, Factory Records and all that, and Vinny from the Duritty Column, and also a drummer from the Buzzcocks, I believe, was attached to this project. And discovered this, that this project existed on a Martin Hannett compilation album that I checked out quite a few years ago, and there was a song on that which is called Dream Sequence, which is a very lovely song that's on the record. And it was really time for me to check out the whole album, and I was very lucky to find it, I guess. Only 100 kroners I paid, which is probably $10 equivalent. And yeah, the sleeve is what it is, not in great condition, but the album sounded terrific, so I was very happy to pick this up, and it sounded great. And There's actually quite a few really, really strong tracks on this. The strong appeal, I'd say, is Pauline Murray's vocals. She has this very childlike and fun way about her and her vocals, a bit dreamy, very cute, and yeah, so it's good pop music, post-punk music from the early 80s. Yeah, highly recommended. Next, there was a few records that I've been meaning to get for a while, because at that very same secondhand store, I saw this album. I was reminded about this album that was reissued in 2020, and I was meaning to pick it up in 2020 probably, but I also got probably around 70-80 other LP albums. That year I went a bit nuts with the record collecting, as it started for me in the pandemic times, and yeah, anyway, I was reminded that I should look into this album. It was more than I could get it for from a new copy at the online store. And at the online store, I found the other one that I want from the same artist, Nikki Sudden. So this is early in Nikki Sudden's career, and this is late stage Nikki Sudden. And Nikki Sudden has been very important to me, mainly from the bands that were the projects Jacobites and also Swell Maps that he was attached to. I collect the Swell Maps records when I can find them. So Nikki Sudden left the Swell Maps, and he wanted to write more songs in the style of Johnny Thunders, I guess, only with this old England romantic rock and roll style. So yeah, this is a perfect picture of Nikki Sudden early in his career. This is how I picture him, like a dandy rock and roller carrying a rose. And what can I say about this album? It's called The Bible Belt to begin with, and it's something he did before the Jacobites. It has a lot of great songs. English Girls, Kathy, Chelsea Embankment, Bethlehem Castle, The Road of Broken Dreams. I'm now just listing up the side A. These are songs I really, really love. And the second LP is the outtakes from the sessions, and also yeah, stuff like that, other mixes and early stuff. What I found very interesting was hearing a song called Every Girl Cuts Me in Half, which is probably the birth of the classic Jacobite song Every Girl, which is on my favorite album by them. Robespierre Velvet Basement, one of the best 80s records in my opinion. So this early take, he kind of improvised the lyrics, and it's quite funny, and yeah, it turned into this brilliant song. So this is just a predecessor to the Jacobites project. Very cool releases. Oh, whoopsie-doo. Very nice releases. Double LPs, as mentioned, gatefold. It has great pictures. Liner notes on both of them. It's on Troubadour, and yeah, I can show you the inner covers. Nice photos of Nikki early in his career. You know, always has the same skeptical expressions on the photos. Yeah, that's him. And the other reissue was the 2006 album, The Truth Doesn't Matter, which seemed to be the case these days. And it's a more mature album by Nikki Sudden. Also has this nice gatefold and cool pictures of him. These are done by a photographer from Norway, Marie Sjøvold, I think her name is. And also another Norwegian contributor on this one, a guy called Einar Stenseng. I think he plays in a Norwegian known band, Oslo S. In the liner notes, he talks about how Nikki paid him for the session with an Italian suit and some cash, which obviously is not a bad deal for him to be able to play on a Nikki Sudden record early in his career. This one, I put it on, and my wife, she wanted to listen to it again later, and we were both enjoying this, reading books. And yeah, I think it's a very strong, accomplished work from him before he died a year or two later. I don't think he made it to his 60s. Yeah, he has put out a lot of great albums, but not a lot of them are available. And I'd say that the ones I've showed you now is the really important solo ones to get. And the Jacobites tops the solo stuff for me. The song that really kind of struck me when I first heard this is the song Jetstar Groove. Such awesome vibes. Nikki with a lot of attitude and an extremely cool fuzz guitar. Yeah, so check that one out. And also just as a whole, this album is a wonderful album by Nikki Sudden. Moving on. Now this is something of a neglected album from last year. Probably something I would have gotten on release day, but I found it to be too expensive. And now there was a sale, so I picked it up finally. I heard it a few times last year, and yeah, found it to be good, but now I'm getting more familiar with it, which happens when you actually get the vinyl. And it's the Black Country New Road's third album. If you don't know the story, they put out 2 albums that are considered to be indie rock classics by now, I'm sure. British band, and the lead singer on their peak just before they released their second album, he left the band. And the band had to transition. Everyone's doing their songwriting duties on this. They did a transitional live record. I saw them twice on that tour. And now the third album. The third album without Isaac is it's hard to compare it to the earlier stuff. I think of this as Black Country New Road 2.0. And it's still very beautiful music. For me, it doesn't cut as deep as the early albums, but at least, yeah, wonderful, talented, and creative musicians, and varied, very distinct voices, distinct songwriters contributing. So it's a record that made me very happy listening to. The one true highlight that I discovered early last year is the song For the Old Country. That's a great one. And yeah, striking album art. It's very beautiful. But the one thing I don't like is, you see how wobbly this is? The sleeve. So I don't like that very much. And some strange decisions. Maybe it's not a complete at all, but different shades of blue on the vinyl. And also, the record is kind of supersized. It almost doesn't fit in my MoFi cover. Yeah. So that's strange. I saw a guy commenting on Discogs that this was too big for his record player. I'm not sure how often that happens. So it was a strange thing. So there's been quite a few quirks on the releases by Ninja Tune for this band. But this is the one that has sounded the best, I think, from the prior records I've gotten from this band. A few pops, but not something very distractive. So, yeah, all in all, very glad that I picked this up at a decent price, at least. Yeah. Finally, there was a sale at Apollon Record Store, which is in Bergen and in Tønsberg. So I had to order some records online. And yeah, the sale was great. I kind of found about 10, 12 records that I wanted. I had to narrow it down to 4 because I've spent too much on records lately. And yeah, the first one I have to show you is the Sharon Van Etten album Tramp, produced by Aaron Dresdner, the one twin from The National. He produced this. And it's a 10th anniversary record from that album. I haven't really been following Sharon Van Etten's career. I probably got into this while this was released, maybe a year ago or something. There was an episode of the podcast Life of the Record where she is interviewed about production of this. Yeah, that was interesting. And also, I mean, I've seen her live. I caught her live at the Primavera Festival in Barcelona. And I was transfixed by her presence, her singing, very dramatic and intense. And yeah, remember that concert very well. So finally got more familiar with her album that I didn't check out when it was released 10 years ago, or 11 now. What else is there to say? On red vinyl, if you care about that stuff, or maybe you dislike that stuff, tell me in the comments if she made anything as good as this one, because I'd gladly check it out next. Also got this one at 50% off, half the price. And it's, yeah, it was like 150 kroners or something. This is Jeff Tweedy's solo album from 2020. And I've been talking a lot about his album from last year, Twilight Override. So that re-sparked my Tweedy interest. So I thought I would pick this up. I know I have heard it in when it was released. But it was time to revisit this now. Yeah, you know what to expect. It's Jeff Tweedy. Very soothing music to put on. Probably not on par on anything on the 3 albums on Twilight Override, but it's still very good. At this price, of course, it's a no-brainer to get. Yeah, so I'm glad I could pick that up. I only heard it once so far. Maybe I have more opinions on it as I listen more. And this as well, 2 LP album by Owen Pallett from 2014, I think. It's called In Conflict. And I probably heard it when it came out. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been listening to Owen Pallett or Final Fantasy. So I saw this and maybe it was time to kind of get back and dive in and check it out again. And such a treat of an album, very cinematic and beautiful, and yeah, pop record, sometimes experimental. You can compare to artists like Perfume Genius and also Bon Iver perhaps. And those artists I'm not a very big fan of, but I like this guy. Yeah, I can recommend it. I'm glad that I got it, and at such a good price as well. The same as the Tweedy one, I think. Lastly, I got the reissue of this a certain Ratio album called To Each from 81, produced by Martin Hannett again. And for me, this band, yeah, I've been trying over the years, but I haven't really, don't have any of their albums. And now that I get an album, I kind of listen more attentively and seriously. And I liked it very much. The band themselves, they were not happy that Hannett made them sound too much like Joy Division. And it's true that the vocal sounds a bit like Ian Curtis. But this album has its own sound to me. A lot of cool rhythm stuff going on. Danceable. It's kind of dance punk style of a record. And yeah, with elements of dub and stuff. And atmospheric and a bit scary at times. And I love it when they have this cool trumpets blaring, just kicking in. And I loved listening to it. But I was confused when I started listening to this because, well, there's these two records that doesn't really say if it's the A or the B or the C or the D side. And so I was confused. I listened to it in the wrong order, but also it's 45 RPM and I didn't catch that to begin with. And I heard the vocals finally, and of course so I listened to it again and I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if it's a great repressing or anything because I haven't heard the original or other versions. I saw some comments, but to me it sounded very good. Yeah, I guess that's it for the record collection update video. Probably do one more in a few weeks. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like to. See you the next time. Take care.